Surely they already knew about this new school. Then why hadn't they told her? Was it possible they were planning to surprise her? On the soap opera she watched, The Winds of Our Tides, the Cleverton family always made a big deal of revealing joyous news to their twin daughters. "For you, darlings, ta-da!" Granted, this kind of parent-like behavior was wholly unlike her own mother and father, but there was a first time for everything. It was hard to wait for them to get back from work. Leeva solved the bookkeeping problem her father had left for her and signed it with a flourish. She sharpened the toes of her mother's shoes and rushed through the rest of her regular duties. Then she threw herself into the exercises on vim and vigor at any age, with extra vim and vigor, and turned on The Winds of Our Tides with a new, warm sense of connection. Those twin Cleverton daughters attended school, and now so would she. Unfortunately, though, today the show opened with the scene that Leeva always dreaded. This scene was so upsetting she usually closed her eyes when it occurred. Today, she kept them open. "Bedtime," the Cleverton parents called. When the twins scampered up obediently, the parents patted their daughters' heads and hugged those girls so tightly you'd think they were hurtling off into outer space instead of climbing into side-by-side beds, each with its own pretty quilt. The soap opera parents squeezed those girls as if they couldn't bear to be away from them for a single night. They squeezed them as if they were precious. Watching it now, an odd cry accidentally escaped Leeva's throat. Something between a gasp and a wail. She snapped off the television. Then she carried the Nutsmore Weekly to her thinking spot, which was the place between two cabinets where a dishwasher used to be until her parents sold it, noticing that Leeva had grown tall enough to reach the sink. Leeva did her best brain work in this empty spot, right from the first day it had appeared. On that day, she'd sunk to the floor in shock. If she spent, say, half an hour a day doing dishes for the next 10 years, she'd be at the sink a total of, even so young she calculated easily, 109,560 minutes. Then something worse struck her. Her parents had traded those 109,560 minutes of hers, minutes they might have spent enjoying her company, for only $50. "My parents don't find me very valuable," was the depressing conclusion she'd drawn. Today, her thoughts were more cheerful. School! Finally out into the world! As she sank down cross-legged with the newspaper. Before turning to stare at the miraculous announcement again, she hunted down the improve your vocabulary word. Deluxe, notably luxurious or sumptuous, of a superior kind. The word was good enough to produce a tingle, which only happened with the best of them. When her parents' car crunched into the driveway at 6:20, she got up. Gazing into the refrigerator, she heaved a sigh. Didn't a night like this call for a celebratory dinner? Maybe even a meal for herself? But no. All she saw now was the same grim stuff she'd seen every day since her parents had decreed her big enough to prepare their food. "She hasn't made us any richer. She hasn't made us any more famous. She might as well serve us our meals," had been their exact words. Reader, let's pause for a moment and have a look inside this fridge to see what caused her deep sighs. Food in the Thornblossom household fell into two categories, neither of which could be labeled deluxe. Leeva's father bought only from the Cheapo Depot grocery warehouse, and only what was moldering on their rock-bottom sale shelf. Mostly this was cheese-a-roni. Cheese-a-roni bore a glancing resemblance to macaroni and cheese, except that the macaroni and the cheese were indistinguishable from each other. And they were both indistinguishable from the box, so even when you followed the instructions perfectly, what you ended up with